Hello, folks. So we seem to be having a little bit of issue on the Wi-Fi signal. It looks like it's cleared out now, so hopefully we're good to go. If you get any pauses on the video, I apologize. But today is our devotional for Thursday, November 20th. I was delighted to be over at St. Mark's as they hosted the community breakfast for the partners of OpenLink, and a good celebration and time of recognition for those folks, and very happy to be serving on that board. We continue with Psalm 119. We are in the 6th and 7th sections today as we follow along in this roughly 8-line pattern based on each letter of the Hebrew alphabet. I'll try to check in occasionally, but I want to have in your ears some of the repeated words that we're looking for in the NRSV. We'll talk about some of those parallels for Peterson today. We'll probably have about 2 more days where we're actually in James May's commentary. And then I think what we'll be doing is just going back and forth between the NRSV and Peterson and talk about some of those phrases and the ways that they approach it. The words, which he calls the thematic vocabulary, that we are listening for in Psalm 119 are law, decrees, statutes, commandments, ordinances, word, precepts, and promise. And I'll go ahead and give you the portion from James May's today. The voice speaking in the psalm is that of a consciousness shaped by many influences, all of them scriptural. The psalmist knows and thinks with the theology and vocabulary of Deuteronomy. The great exhortation of Deuteronomy 6, verses 1 to 9, to love the Lord by keeping and teaching his words, is the central impulse of the psalmist's religion. We have talked about the focus on Torah and interpreting that more widely as instruction and teaching, and so that makes a lot of sense connected to Deuteronomy. Jeremiah, Isaiah, and Proverbs are other books that affect his composition. Reflections of their features appear in lines of the psalm, and then he specifies some of the lines. All of the styles of the principal types of psalms appear in this psalm. The elements of the individual prayer for help predominate. Petitions, descriptions of trouble with self and others, assertions of trust, and vows of praise compose most of the psalm. But it begins with beatitudes, blesseds, or happy are those, depending on translation, and employs didactic sentences, teaching sentences. I just lost my place. Thanksgiving testimonies and hymnic praise as well. In type, the psalm is a montage of other types, pulling a lot of them together. The result is not a pale imitation of what is used. The psalmist does not merely copy. His sources have been absorbed by a profound and authentic piety, a devotion to Scripture into whose creativity they have entered. That piety so occupies his mind, leads his thinking, and guides his life that he can speak of himself only in terms of it. The psalm is the voice of a suppliant, a witness, a witness and a teacher. One may pray with it, be converted by it, and learn from it. Some good words on Psalm 119. So we'll give you the NRSV, and you can be listening for some of those familiar phrases. And this starts at verse 41 if you're following along with one that has verses listed. Let your steadfast love come to me, O Lord, your salvation according to your promise. Then I shall have an answer for those who taunt me, for I trust in your word. Do not take the word of truth utterly out of my mouth, for my hope is in your ordinances. I will keep your law continually, forever and ever. I shall walk at liberty, for I have sought your precepts. I will also speak of your decrees before kings, and shall not be put to shame. I find delight in your commandments, because I love them. I revere your commandments, which I love, and I will meditate on your statutes. And here's the break into part 7. Remember your word to your servant in which you have made me hope. This is my comfort and my distress, that your promise gives me life. The arrogant utterly deride me, but I do not turn away from your law. When I think of your ordinances from of old, I take comfort, O Lord. Hot indignation seizes me because of the wicked, those who forsake your law. Your statutes have been my songs wherever I make my home. I remember your name in the night, O Lord, and keep your law. The blessing has fallen to me, for I have kept your precepts. And here's Peterson. Let your love, God, shape my life with salvation exactly as you promised. Then I'll be able to stand up to mockery because I trusted your word. Don't ever deprive me of truth, not ever. Your commandments are what I depend on. Oh, I'll guard with my life what you've revealed to me. Guard it now, guard it ever. And I'll stride freely through wide open spaces as I look for your truth and your wisdom. Then I'll tell the world what I find. Speak out boldly in public, unembarrassed. I cherish your commandments. Oh, how I love them, relishing every fragment of your counsel. Part 7. Remember what you said to me, your servant. I hang on to these words for dear life. These words hold me up in bad times. Yes, your promises rejuvenate me. The insolent ridicule me without mercy, but I don't budge from your revelation. I watch for your ancient landmark words and know I'm on the right track. But when I see the wicked ignore your directions, I'm beside myself with anger. I set your instructions to music and sing them as I walk this pilgrim way. I meditate on your name all night, O God, treasuring your revelation, O God. Still I walk through a rain of derision because I live by your word and counsel. So I went ahead and kind of looked through and underlined a few spots. So this isn't going to be direct for our vocabulary themes, but a few things that I saw repeated. One that he uses back in part 5 is Pilgrim Way, and this sense of finding direction and guidance. He does use promise and commandment and word. Peterson capitalizes word when he does it, which is kind of a New Testament influence because we're talking about Jesus as the word. Solid translation. The phrase your truth and your wisdom, I think that went along with precepts, if I remember the lines right. We also have revelation that comes up several times. So what God is revealing in his teaching. Word and counsel comes up again. So that's a little bit for you today. We'll be continuing with parts 8 and 9. Probably be finishing. There's Peterson Mays in his last section uplifts several points. I think about 4. I don't know if I'm going to do it all together, if we're going to break that up a little bit. We'll see if one of them highlights one of the pieces we're doing a little better. But a lot of what we're going to be doing now is just walking back and forth between those two and trying to see how Peterson is doing these familiar phrases as we go along. All right. Have a great day. Good to see everybody. Check you tomorrow. Bye-bye.